MEM Promotions here. We're the People's Promotion, and we're bringing boxing and boxing clubs all around the country. I'm with Lewis Bacon today.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming in, Louis. And he's going to tell us about his. We're going to talk to him about his boxing career and about defining moments in it that hopefully help other people and show where he's got to today. So, Louis, what was it like growing up with Charlie and your sister in Haverley?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, we had a good upbringing, good parents, good mum and dad. They always treated us well. It wasn't a struggle whatsoever. Like I said, we had a good upbringing. Got whatever we sort of asked for on birthdays and Christmas. We wasn't spoiled. My mum and dad worked hard for their money. Working class family. But yeah, like I said, it was a good upbringing. Being with a twin as well, always had someone to play with. But yeah, it was good.
So, this is the first thing I've looked through your history, and I've looked at different boxing trainers, different football clubs you played with. I've spoke to your dad, I've spoke to your brother. I think this is a defining moment. So, you've grown up, you've done junior school, and you've started Bourneside. Explain to people what happened in your first day at school.
Yeah, so my first day of year 7 at Bourneside, I was nervous, as you are, being year 7, going to big, it's a big step up from primary school. My first day, as you do, go to the sort of tennis courts or whatever it was back then. I was eating my food and all of a sudden I had this big, older year 9 kid come up to me, said a few words and hit me on my first day.
Yeah.
I just dropped to the floor, cried my eyes out. All my friends were just sort of shocked as well, just stood there, didn't know what was going on really. It was a bit of a shock for everyone. So yeah, like I said, I was crying my eyes out, got taken home, and since that day, it took me a while to sort of get my confidence back to where it was. Hence why my dad wanted me to start boxing. He said to me and my twin brother Charlie, he said, "Look, I want you to be able to stick up for yourself. If anything like this happens again, I want you to be able to deal with yourself," sort of thing, and to give us that bit of confidence. So yeah, went down to Trojan in the Campton with Keith Burge. That was actually our first gym. Then yeah, made some new friends there. Started boxing obviously with Keith, and sort of just progressed from there really.
Excellent. So I think that moment in is a bad time at the time, but I think that's someone that can make, because the same thing kind of happened to me in my life. But I won't go into that. So I'm going to bring you up to your football career before boxing.
Yeah.
So because I spoke to your dad, and he said like you started at one team, then you went to Shirlington, and he said he got in an argument with the manager because you were angry about players not performing. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so like I said, I was like you said, sorry, I was playing football before boxing. I was always a sporty kid anyway. So yeah, me and my twin brother used to play for a team called Southside, and then we went to a team called Shirlington, and my dad took over as the manager. So he was our manager at the time, and I was always one of them kids that wanted to win, no matter what I'd done. I was very competitive, and I can't remember what exactly happened, but there was a game, and I think we lost, and I was getting well annoyed with like you said, players not performing, and I got angry, and there was a bit of an argument or whatever, and the other manager had a bit of a falling out with my dad and wanted to drop me from the team. And my dad sort of stuck up for me and said, well, no, he's passionate about his sport. It's normal. He should be passionate. So should the others. And, they had a bit of a bicker. Anyway, we left that team and moved on to Oakwood. And my dad was the manager there as well. But yeah, it was, like I said, I was a sporty kid from day one.
So like a lot of dads, he's trying to, a lot of dads take the kids down football, take them down at boxing and stuff like that. So then, from the football, I'm going to say we're going to come up to date now, like with, so you've walked in Rough Diamonds, Rob Lockie.
From Keith at Trojan in the Campton, he sort of come to the conclusion, like, I've done enough with what I can with these lads, because his son used to box as well. Good mate of mine, Toby Burge. Do you remember Toby?
Yeah.
So it was me, Toby, and Charlie, and he took us to Rough Diamonds. He said, "Look, I want you to." So he's seen that we all have potential. So took us to an amateur boxing club with Rob, Rough Diamonds.
Yeah.
We was there for about a year, 2 years. Had my first skills bout with Rob, and then had another 2 fights with Rob. You know, he's a great bloke, but just I was proper getting into boxing at that time with Rob. You know, I loved it, and I just wasn't as active as I wanted to be.
Yeah.
Hence why then I moved to King's ABC.
King's ABC.
With
So
Sean Martin.
Yeah. So if I just think you there, so you've gone there 2017.
Yeah.
2017 to King's ABC, which was situated down there. Is it no, that's
Collette's Drive.
Collette's Drive, yeah. Sean Martin's got the training going there, so you've got. I can remember being down there briefly for a bit and seeing you down there. You must have been, what age were you? About 14?
I would have been about 14, 15 when I joined Sean.
So what happened there? You started. I've got some stuff down here, but what was it like starting to train at King's ABC?
So it was good. Club? You know, Sean was a very active coach. He was putting a lot of home shows on in Cheltenham. I actually boxed on 2 of them with Rob. And that's what sort of clicked my mind. I was thinking, well, if he's putting home shows on, I can box a lot more regular. And like I said, I wanted to be active as a boxer. So moved down there and it was good. I had 53 amateur fights. I think with Sean, I must have had about 48, 49.
Types.
Yeah. So it was a good long amateur career with Sean.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was boxing a lot. You know, week in, week out, up and down the country. You know, it was good. But yeah.
I spoke to Sean Martin. He said, well, I spoke to your dad and Sean Martin about your amateur career at King's ABC. First, I just want to say, you know, with Rough Diamonds, the club's still open today, Baker Street, where is there in Anfield, and it's a great club. Like, I mean, I've got a message for Rob for you in a bit, like, and a message is Sean and what Todd said about it, but we'll get to that at the end. Like, but Dave Beanie fight, tell me about that. It was against a traveller lad, really hard fight.
So I must have been about 14, 15. I was still light as anything. We went down to a place called Sandwich ABC down in Kent. It was about 3-4 hours away. I think it was on a Friday evening. But yeah, boxed a good traveller lad. He was very skillful. It was a very close bout. Yeah. And unfortunately lost on a split decision. We were stood in the middle of the ring for about 3 minutes, just waiting for the decision to be made. Both had our hands up, thinking, "Who's got this?" Unfortunately, like I said, I lost, but that sort of pushed me on a little bit because, like I said, obviously from the moment I got punched on my first day, I always struggled mentally. I gave up a lot on myself just in the ring. You know, sometimes I'd lose the fight before I even got in there. Before I even got in there. Oh, nice. But because, you know, he was a good lad and it was a close bout, it sort of gave me that bit of a confidence boost. Sean
said he's seen a change in you. Rob Lockie said, you know, up to this date, going back to Rob, he said that you would always come prepared, you'd always train, and you go what they don't do today, you'd always go as a spare.
Yeah.
So you take your bag and your kit along. I used to do that.
I remember, so me and my twin brother both had our skills bout on the first day, but then he got his bout before me, so he actually had a fight before me. Yeah. And I remember I was gutted. I think I actually cried because I just wanted to be the best. Not, you know, it was a friendly competition, but it was like, oh, he's getting this fight before me, sort of thing. So, you know, Rob just used to always take me as a spare whenever he would box, and hope that I would, you know, get a lucky bout on the day. But it never happened. But, you know, I was always prepared to fight.
I can see Rob's analogy there, because that's what people used to do in the 80s, and it used to happen in the mid-90s.
Not so much nowadays with, you know, social media and all this.
It's all matched, right? But there's one bout that your dad said you boxed down in Tarbet and you didn't. He said him and Sean, I've seen you box once in Down End, and I thought you won. You didn't get a decision, and I've seen you take it like a lot of kids do, take it hard. But this fight in Tarbet, your dad and Sean pointed out to me that you got off, you walked out the ring, you wouldn't shake the lad's hand, so they made you come back and shake his hand.
I mean, I look back at it now and think it was, you know, I always say to younger kids, like, take losses on the chin. You know, don't take them personally. But at the time, it was hard taking losses because I wanted to do so well. You know, I always wanted to win, and I was that passionate about winning that when I did actually lose, it did mean a lot to me losing. Obviously, I've grown up now. I can look back and think, you know, as an amateur, losses don't mean anything. It builds you, you know. Yeah. But yeah, I unfortunately lost. And I didn't shake his hand for whatever reason. Obviously, I was just angry. But yeah, it was like I said, it was just because I was passionate and didn't like losing. Yeah.
So you had Sean pointed this out to me. You had 10 losses in a row, and you had 7 wins in a row.
Yeah.
Which can happen. I mean, I had that. I had 4 wins in a row, and when I was boxing, and I had about 6 losses in a row, then win 2, and another 8 losses. But that's just the way it goes. But I don't regret any second of it. I love it. But like, do you know when you went in the championships, the full ABA championships? What was it like going in them?
So like you said, as a youth, as a junior, I lost quite a few on the trot. And I turned to a youth, and it was just before lockdown. And I dropped a kid to the body in Bournemouth. It was my first 3 frees as a youth. And I dropped the kid to the body and won on a unanimous decision in Bournemouth against a real good, strong kid. Yeah. And after that, it was lockdown. But that fight there, I think that's what sort of gave me that confidence to, when I did turn over as a senior, as an amateur. Like I said, I kept winning as a senior. And I think that fight there was what gave me that sort of confidence to believe in myself.
Yeah, I'm going to bring it up to the end of your amateur career where you fight everyone will know this guy, Callum Mackin.
Callum Mackin, yeah.
Matt Mackin, sorry everyone, I'm presenting that right. And you boxed him twice, and this is I would say the pinnacle of everything, from starting with Rough Diamonds, going through the King's ABC, and you know, before you went pro, and your last fight, you know, was the quarterfinals of the ABAs. So Callum Mackin's rated number 3 in the world.
He is now. He wasn't at the time. He was ranked number 1 in GB in Great Britain, because the previous year he won the open class ABAs and he won the Tri Nations.
Very good kid.
So yeah, I boxed him in the quarterfinals. He was actually representing GB the second time I boxed him. The first time it got stopped because of a cut on the top of the head. The previous year, and then the year after, same event, same ring, same ref. It was like it was meant to happen, and I truly believed that I was going to win that fight. I still believe to this day that I beat him. Yeah. You know, no disrespect to him, he's a great lad. Yeah. Like I said, he's gone on to represent GB in the Worlds. He's ranked number 3 in the world, so you know he was no mug. But yeah, and then after that, I was putting a lot of effort into the sport, and I thought, you know what, I was at that age where I thought, I don't want to do this for free anymore. You know, I want to make it a career. I want to earn some money, and I want to push on in the sport. So when I didn't get the decision, I thought, that's me done. I didn't want to carry on.
You felt you've come enough now.
Yeah, I felt like I was experienced. I was experienced as a senior. So I thought it was the right time to move on and turn professional. Yeah. So you turned pro. You've gone with Todd Roberts as a trainer. We'll talk about him in a second. You've signed with Martin Nielsen. Was there anyone else out there in the pros? Did you look around first, or? To be honest, I didn't really look around too much. You know, I could have gone Birmingham and Bristol and places like that.
It's going to be the same kind of deal.
But yeah, it was, you know, in my mind, it was travelling up and down the country to train there. Hence why I moved from Sean, who didn't have his pro licence at the time, to Todd Roberts. Yeah. Obviously, he's been a pro himself. Yeah. He had the experience as a pro himself, so, you know, knew the ins and outs. Yeah. And for me personally, I just thought it was the right decision at the time to move to Todd.
So
I'm glad that I have made that decision, because I'm now 3-0 as a professional. Excellent. And I'm doing really well, so yeah.
So you make your professional debut to April 2024, April 13th. You have your second bout September 13th, and you have your last bout in Swindon. What have you learned from them bouts, Lou?
So, I was all three performances have been good. All three 4-rounders. But I'm learning the game a bit more now. The amateurs and pros are completely different, as you know yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Different pace, throwing shots differently at different times, blah blah blah. But yeah, I've just learned to settle down a bit, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a process. I'm doing well. I've got a long way to go, but I believe I can go to the top.
What's it like training in Baker Street with Todd Roberts and the other pros there? You can give them a little mention, and you can say what's like.
So yeah, it's a great gym at the moment.
Mm.
The gym's buzzing from the amateurs all the way up to the pros. How many pros we got? We got 5 pros, I think. There, myself, Jack Bannister, Anton Essen, Brad Ingram, Amali Davis. We've also got the heavyweight Simon
Becker, yeah, good kid.
We've got the UFC lot, MMA lot, UFC Christian Leroy Duncan, Jack Woodard, Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah.
Cole
Elliott. The list goes on. The Raffertys, the Knights,
Yeah.
the Ingrams, and it's great. Got the little juniors coming up.
Yeah,
it's a great gym, isn't it? It's great. What's the future now for Louis Bacon?
The future now, I'm boxing in a couple of months, March 28th in GL1.
GL1 Gloucester.
So that'll be another good local show. First 6-rounder coming up. But just keep progressing. There's no rush. I'm only 23 years of age. But yeah, I believe I can go all the way to the top. I would like to do it the traditional route.
Yeah.
7 area, English, British, European, and then the world sort of stage. But like I said, I've got a long way to go, and I'm heading in the right direction.
Absolutely. Any message for anyone getting into the sport or anyone struggling with things in life, Lou?
For boxing, just take it as it comes, enjoy it, enjoy the amateur stages, because you only get one amateur career unless you go back after being a pro. But you don't get that youth and that childhood back. Boxing week in, week out, you've got no sort of responsibilities. So yeah, it's a message to the younger lot coming up through the amateurs: just box as much as you can, enjoy the sport, and win or lose, just it's all experience.
Excellent. Where can people find you on social media, because that's a big part today?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. They're my 3 sort of main social medias. But yeah, Louis Bacon 1 is my Instagram.
Yeah. So do you know what about any sponsors? Do you want to mention them? Are they on your page?
Yeah, they're on my page. I've got quite a few sponsors who I appreciate. They help me out massively.
It's hard
through camp.
So if anyone wants to help you, they can join.
Yeah, I'm still working full time.
So Todd, give me a mate. Sean, let's start with Rob Lockley first. He said you had the 3 Ds. Do you remember the 3 Ds are?
3 Ds. What was that again?
Yeah, drive, determination, and discipline.
Yeah,
he said you had that, and he said you train really hard, and if anyone deserves to make it, he does, Mike. Sean said you were technically gifted, and you just trained all the time.
Yeah.
And Todd said when he was having a just ticking over, he went in Rob's one day, and everyone's saying, he said, "Who's that kid there?" And everyone thought he was on about someone else, your brother,
my brother,
who is good. Charlie's really good. Take nothing away from him. But Todd was on about you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And how he's training you. So it's good. So anything you want to finish up with?
No, thanks for having me, Mike. It's been good.
No problem.
First podcast, first of many.
Yeah.
No, it's been good. I just hope, lads coming up and, the generation coming up through boxing from, different gyms around the area, that they can just, keep it up and keep going.
Excellent. Louis, from MEM Promotions and everyone in boxing, I reckon, thank you so much for coming here.
Thanks for having me, Mike.
Thank you. Thanks, Louis.